We'll be right back after these messages.
Here at Fully Torqued Bro, our mission is simple: inspire and motivate the population in and out of the gym by providing premium quality gym apparel. Shop some of our original designs like our top sellers. Chasing that Greek god physique, the gym prayer, and these arms aren't the only guns I carry. You can pick up any one of these and more using one of our promo codes for free shipping. Fully Torqued Bro, inspiring and motivating people to have a fully torqued workout.
Fully torqued, bro! So if you like my shirt, if you're digging my mug, check them out. You can use my promo code that they made specifically for you guys coming and viewing my channel. It is Tillman, Tilmon 10, and that will get you free shipping on your entire purchase. Links to their website and promo code will be in the description below. So a lot of you have been asking me a little bit about how to edit and shoot Twilight shots. So Twilight shots are the higher end houses. You don't have a $90,000, $120,000, $150,000 house where you have an agent asking if you will come and do the Twilight shots. It doesn't happen. So I'm gonna go through two things. One, I'm gonna show you the equipment of how I shoot it. And then two, I'll walk you through how I edit it and export it and get that nice, pretty Twilight glow in the yard and the windows and all that other stuff. So before we get started into the editing, let's walk through the actual equipment you will be using. So what I have here is a Pocket Wizard system. These are the Pocket Wizard Plus 3s. Something this expensive is not necessary, but if you're going to have the camera far away from the front of the house, which you will, and you're gonna be walking around throughout the yard, you need transmitters that can talk a little bit of a distance, especially if it's a huge house and you're trying to go through, trying to get to the corner over here, trying to get to the corner over there, and all of a sudden your transmitter doesn't work. Sometimes these don't even work all the way. So that's a simple setup. I plug them into the side right here, and then I plug it into the side of my camera. This talks to this. I have this on my belt or on my pocket. This, I push the button, this into the camera, it triggers the shutter, so it takes the photo. Once I push that button and it triggers the camera to take the photo, this is a transmitter that talks to this, my flash. So what I'll do is I'll get this little thing right here and I will mount it on top of a cheap stand like I got right here, a cheap stand, mount it on the top of there, and I'm just walking, you'll see me in the photos in just a minute. I'm walking around popping all these different locations, and I'll share with you some of my reasons why I shoot certain spots, what I'm trying to mimic, what I'm trying to do. And so how you get that nice orange look is you get a little kit like this, and it has a orange little gel inside of it. I don't know if you can see that from there, but there's an orange gel inside of there. And so that orange gel makes orange light, and it casts it on the house. That's the equipment you need. You can use a very inexpensive speed light. I have kind of higher end a little bit speed lights, same with my flash and my lights, because I've been doing this for a while, so I have the room to be able to buy more expensive stuff. But the cheaper stuff can get you by, and no one will ever know. I was talking with somebody the other day. I have the Mavic Air 2S, and it's the new one that came out with the inch sensor on there. Yes, it looks amazing. Yes, the larger sensor means more information, which means get more detail, and it's a more vibrant image, and all the other details and nice bells and whistles with it. But for over a year, I flew. How old is the Mavic Mini? A little pocket drone. I literally folded it up and put it in my pocket when I was wearing hoodies. It was in the wintertime when I got it for Christmas. And I was doing that on $1 million homes, and no agent ever knew the difference. I'm talking about photos and videos. So don't think you have to get the top. You have to chase after the best and be like the rest, and make sure that you're not overspending so that you don't get in a bad spot. So speaking of equipment, I've just got a new website set up, and it's kit.com/, Actually, it's kit.co/Stephen Tillman. And there I have all that I use in my real estate and photography period. I have soft boxes, I have drones, I have lights, I have cameras, lenses, things that I use every single day that I know and that I trust. Now, granted, you're not gonna be coming to my website and looking for Sony stuff because I don't have Sony stuff. I only recommend what I have had or what I do have right now, and that would be Canon stuff. It's just what I have, it's my system. If you don't like Canon stuff, I completely get that, but I have a lot of other good options as far as equipment wise that have nothing to do with the camera body that you're using. Let's dive in over here on the computer. So if you are editing a lot, I also would recommend a Wacom tablet. You can get other brands as well. It's always to your preference. So here we are on the computer, and what I want to do here is walk you through a little bit of the basics of what I do, why I do it. To me, when I'm learning something, when I know the why, it helps me understand a little bit more and remember better. So hopefully that will work for you as well. All right, so what I want to do is select the photos I want to bring into Lightroom. So my setup is I edit all my details and my fine tuning and things into Lightroom, and I pay for the service for Photoshop that gives me all of their stuff. That means Audacity for audio stuff, which I do small business commercials, so that helps greatly right there. Then you have Lightroom and Photoshop that can seamlessly talk back and forth with each other. So I'm gonna leave a link for that below. Right click, open with, and I always go to other. I don't know why it never shows up, but it doesn't. I go to Lightroom Classic, because that's where I'm very familiar. I click open, take a little drink. All right, hit D for develop. So I've kind of already went through and tweaked these because I had to edit this and get it back to the client. But what I want to do is this. I want to show you the process. So see, this right here is dark because it is the garage part and it didn't show up very well. It was kind of dark in there. So what I did later is I went through and I colored it in orange in Photoshop. So that's my end product right there. So let's walk through how to get there. I always start off with one shot in the very beginning. And this is what I call my base shot. So I'm gonna build everything else on top of this shot. So what does that mean? That means I want it to be a little warmer because I know my end shot is gonna be a little warmer. I wanna bring up any shadows, maybe bring down the blacks just a little bit. You could even bring up the whites. So it had kind of a pretty sky there, but it was not that great. So that means we'll do a sky replacement here in a minute. Then you see things that are kind of nasty to the eye, like this over here. They were doing new construction. It happens. So you got to deal with what you got. What I started doing is walking around with this little orange light, or with this little light with the orange gel on top of it. And you could put a full stop of gel or a half, whatever, it doesn't really matter. You want to try to get something that is kind of close, gauge what the orange looks like on the lights of the house, because you're wanting to try to match that. Because you are simulating and doing fake light, and you're using your flash to make it look like and fill in spots where the lights actually aren't reaching. So I'll show you what to do with that. So here I am walking around. See how I made that a little orange and it kind of pops a little bit. It has a nice little glow to it. I did some small, tiny adjustments. I'm not doing anything else but what I just did right there. So right click on that photo that you just edited, do develop settings, copy settings. I'm gonna check all, why not? I didn't do anything else, so it's not a big deal. Copy, then go to where my last photo is. Shift click, right click, develop settings, paste settings. And now I have a, look at the wall right here. Now it's all the same. See that? And it is getting a little bit darker, but I'm not worried about that, because I'm going to be painting on top of my base photo. So I had the proper exposure that I wanted. Doesn't matter if it gets darker, because now all I'm doing is painting in the orange light that I'm putting there. So just go through one time, check it out. Probably could bring up the shadows just a little bit, but you see how they're already pretty high up. But I'm not worried about it. Now I'm back at the beginning. See, that's a good, nice, crisp, clean shot. So now that these are all still highlighted, I want to right click, want to edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. This is going to take forever. Hello? So what it's doing is it is loading in your photos in order that you took them, stacking them on top of each other. So as you look down, as it's filling them in, imagine if you're looking at the side of a cake when it's cut and you can see the little layers. So if you take that cake and you look down, all you can see is that top layer. So in a minute, we're gonna put a black mask on it, and black means hide. And so that makes me where I then can see the next layer. And I'm gonna keep doing that all the way down on every single layer. I'm gonna put black masks. And then I'm going to get a white color for my brush, and I'm gonna lightly start painting in the orange where I want it. So it's a very controlled process to where even places that there are not lights, it will look like there are, which is pretty cool. And that's the reason for going through this whole process, is so that we can control exactly what it looks like and we can get the perfect photo. So as always, if you've been following my channel, by the way, don't forget to subscribe, shift and click, go up here to edit, auto align layers, make sure this first, that will do all the corners and everything. Click that. So you remember we talked about that first layer that is kind of your base layer. So if you click option, click on that eyeball right there, you'll see, there it is. Now click it and you want to drag it all the way down and let go of it down here. So it's the first, the last, because you want to make that your base. So now we can toggle back and forth with this little eyeball and kind of see what we want to paint in. Now do a option over the mask, black, option, black, option, black, option, black. And as far as I know, you cannot do these all at once. I've tried, it does not work. So you have to do individual layers. Click, option, click. Now some of these you may not even use, but I'm gonna go ahead and do them. I'm gonna go ahead and do them all because I'm not sure if I'm gonna use them yet or not. So I go ahead and prepare. And if I don't use it, then I just leave it black and don't touch it. If I wanna see for a minute which one it is, click on that, do shift and click, and it'll cover it up just for a second. It'll be like it's not even there. So I'm gonna put B for brush. I have a opacity of 100. I wanna be able to see everything that I do, but I want that flow to be very low. I want it to be very, between 6 and 10%, whatever you prefer. I wanna make sure that over here it's white. Now remember, I'm looking for this right over here. Make it a little bit smaller. You see that? How easy that was, bro. So what I'm emulating here is like if there was a light there, I'm gonna do this. I did the same thing over here, just so there'd be a spread of light over here and make it a little more colorful. Turn the eyeball on, shift and click that. I did a little more right there, so I'm still in the white. Just lightly doing it. Eyeball, shift, click, see where I'm at, okay? Now what you don't wanna do is you wanna make sure you're staying away from where you're standing, because you can accidentally paint yourself in, and so you'll see like a little ghostly looking thing of a leg, and you don't want that. All right, so click the eyeball. Honestly, you can go through here and click the eyeball on all of them. You can see where we painted a little bit right there. It's real small. All right, so let's do the, okay, I'm over there. Make my brush a little bigger. Just real nice and subtle. Shift and click that mask. See where I'm at now? All right. Oop. So see what I did there? Nothing happened. It's because I was clicked on the actual photo instead of the mask. So now I'm on the mask. Now watch it. Boom. Shift and click. I'm over here. All right. Let's do a little painting. Shift and click. See where I'm at now. So what I did here is every time I would flash one way, like a hard side of it, I never wanted to get in front of the camera. I didn't want to be between the lens and my subject, the house. So what I would do was I would always stand off to the side, like I'm hiding behind here, behind this post. See the light right there? So I'm hiding behind there and there's a light and I'm shining it. So I'm always pointing it kind of back towards the camera like it's coming from the house onto the ground or onto a tree, whatever the case may be. So that's why I'm doing it like that. always shoot it towards where you're trying to go, back towards the camera. Shift and click. So here I am. I want to kind of make that seem a little more. Shift and click. So what I actually did for the client, because they had a light out right here, I went in and made a light. I just cloned that right there over to the top of that. Different tutorial, but that's the reason I shone that light the way I did right there, to make it look like there's light coming off of that right there, because I knew I was going to do that later. So if you ever have a light bulb that is out and they're worried about it, just clone stamp it. It makes everyone's life a lot easier. If you make the agents, clients, the sellers of the house not panic, have less stress, that's brownie points. All right, click, shift and click. Boom, so back there. Wanted just a little bit of glow back there. Nothing fancy. Shift and click. I think I did it again. A little bit stronger, it's all right. Shift, click. Did it a little bit right here. And we're almost done. Shift, click. All right, I got a bunch on the house right there. And see, I don't have to have all that brightness come in there because I'm just painting in what I want. Shift and click, a little bit right there. Just kind of give it a little bit of depth. Shift and click. All right, so I got some on the house right here because I wanted it to look like there was a light up there. They didn't have it. I wanted it to look like there was. So I made it that way. Shift and click. Okay, this little tree. Just a little bit of glow on there. Shift and click. Some more glow. The guy was actually standing by my camera when I was shooting this, and he said, "What are you doing there? There's no light." I said, "But there will be." And he was impressed that I was doing that. Shift and click. All right, so now I got some little light over here. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Shift and click. Just a little more right there. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Shift and click. Now I'm back over here. All right, why not? Spread a little bit more light. So you can see right now, there's a nice orange glow everywhere. Now what I can do here to get that light over here, you can see there is light in there. It's not very bright. Flatten image, duplicate the image, do a hue and saturation, and then do a clipping mask. So what a clipping mask does is whatever you're editing, it'll only do it right below it. See, I make that not visible. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. I'm not gonna hide it yet. I wanna show you what I'm doing. So then let's do brightness and contrast. And then I'm gonna do a clipping mask as well. So you see those arrows coming down, down, down? All right. So now that when I'm on these masks, hit Command I, and then Command I. So then we just hid what we did. Now if you hold down Z, it turns into the zoom button. I click L for a lasso tool. And I'm just going right here, double click, and it'll do it. Hit brush, make sure it's white to reveal. All I'm doing, let's do that quite a bit higher. Same thing. Boom, boom. Double click, it'll connect. What I did is just brought a little bit of brightness to it and orange. That's it. I'm not worried about that window back there. I just wanted to do, and Command D will deselect anything you have. So now you can actually see inside of there. So it's like I had some orange light actually in there. So hit these little, I go so fast. These little buttons, click that, flatten image again. Now Photoshop has an action where you can do a sky replacement. So if you don't know where it is, go over to help, do sky replacement, click on it. Now you say what kind of sky you want. Let's do a twilight sky. See which one we like better. I like that one. Don't want it too bright. See what it looks like flipped. So this is why I like using Photoshop and Lightroom. You can use whatever you want, but I like this because they can communicate back and forth with each other. Command S, and watch it pop back in there. Boom. I can even warm it up a little more if I want. It is a twilight. People expect for it to almost look a little fake. So now what I want to do is I want to do some sharpening. Bring that sharpen up. You can get a little preview right there. I like my radius a lot smaller, like the little tiny balls instead of bigger ones. Then if I hold down Option and move the masking part of it, I can control what is being sharpened. Then go down to the transformation. I want to constrain crop. That way, whatever it does, it will automatically crop the edges. Do my verticals. So then I put a little vignette on there as well. And then there we go. So that's kind of a as quickly as possible. I mean, you could do it a lot quicker. It took maybe 15 minutes, maybe that, to even shoot it. And so then you do that, you get good at it, you take 15 minutes to edit it. You've technically made between $75 and $150 for one photo for 30 minutes of work. So that's not bad at all. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. Make sure to check out my friends Fully Torqued Bro. Below is their website and Instagram, as well as the promo code that I mentioned to get free shipping for you. Don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's tutorial, and make sure you comment if you have any other questions regarding photography. I'll see you next time.